Namaste. If someone has cheated you, if your boyfriend has cheated you, or if your girlfriend has cheated you, then generally you end up in expressing your anger by taking revenge. So, how do you take revenge? Either you do some harmful things physically, or you go through the way of black magic attacks. You hire some black magician, you give him money, and you ask him to do some dirty black magic spell on the person who has cheated you. By doing this, you are digging your own grave. You understand? If you don't retaliate, if you don't get into this dirty game of doing something by your own, and if you let God decide, then you will be in a better position. And that person who has cheated you, he will suffer much than what you are doing right now. Understand what I am saying? But generally, when people get cheated, they are not in that frame of mind. They immediately seek revenge, and then they go through all these kind of means. Most of them go through black magic medium. They go through some black magician, they pay him, and they pay him a lot of money. So what is happening is that that person who cheated you, you are trying to harm him, so you are punishing him. Understand this. You are punishing him. But when a man or a woman tries to punish others, that person also get punished. You understand what I am saying? That is why Buddha says that you will be punished not for your anger, but by your anger. So when you become the judge and when you decide to punish those who have cheated you, then you are falling from the grace. And when you indulge in this kind of black magic, dirty spells, you are becoming very, very dirty. And this is how it reflects in your Kundali, in your Mahadasha period. So when you are doing some black magic spell on the person who cheated you, you are spoiling your future. But when you just sit quiet and let God decide, let karma do all that needs to be done, then you will move on and you will progress. But that person someday will be hit hard. But what I am saying is something that happens only 1%. 99% people are so much impatient that they want to do everything. They want to punish that person. And to do so, they go through all these kind of dirty means. And by doing so, they dig their own grave. And when they fall into it, they start complaining and they start blaming the whole world. And so it happens in life, it happens many times. Many times people will come and cheat you. Many have cheated me also. But if I go behind them, then I am making my hands dirty, which I don't want to. I will let God decide. And every person at some point of time gets into some kind of trouble, because the planetary aspects are such that nobody is happy forever. Please remember this. So if you are doing black magic on somebody and if you are trying to be very smart, one day you will be hit very hard, so hard that you will get into some big trouble. Don't try to act smart. You cannot oversmart God. God is watching. And so, because I see many people crying and whining, I want to alert at least those who are following me closely to not to make your hands dirty. If anybody is cheating you, if anybody is offending you, there are ways where you can just ignore, block and move on. But don't get into an offending game. Don't go to a black magician and pay him or her to attack that person. By doing so, you are spoiling your future. You are spoiling your karma. Everything that happens in your life, my life, is because of our karma. And so, if you keep your karma clean, nobody can harm you. And if they try to harm you, they will fall badly. So please think over this. I wanted to bring up this point because many times people say that I have done nothing wrong in my life, then why I am suffering? It's like a man who did something bad today, then he went to bed, and the next morning he got up and he forgot everything what he did in the last night, what he did yesterday, and now he's saying that I have done nothing. But in reality, in the past birth, you have done many bad karma. That is why you are suffering now. So either you suffer and move on, or else you make your hands dirty by offending others, by insulting others, by harming others, and make your future more bad. And this is what I call Vivek. And this Vivek or righteousness comes when you start focusing within. There are people who have loads of money and still they are crying. And there are people who don't have money and they are also crying. So it seems that the basic nature of human being is to cry, no matter what. The more ignorant you are, the more you keep crying. I think crying is not the right word. The right word is whining, always complaining, always remaining not satisfied. That is another trait of Rahu. Rahu is never satisfied. So if you have Rahu very much powerful in your chart, you are never satisfied. You are always running and running and running. Too much of ambition eventually spoils the game, spoils your life. So the whole message is that whatever trouble you are going through, please understand, it is because of your own past karma. If somebody cheat you, if somebody harm you, or if somebody is doing something, then just ignore. Focus more on being defensive and not offensive. Because by being offensive, you get into that vicious circle and it never ends. It just never ends. And all these things that I am sharing with you is the message of Ketu. The more powerful Ketu you have in your chart, the more you will be able to understand what I am saying. And the more powerful Rahu you have, the more you will be unable to understand, unable to connect with what I am sharing. That is why Ketu is the source of wisdom, whereas Rahu is the source of ignorance. Which way you want to go is what will decide your destiny. So whatever is happening in your life, someone's wife acts strangely. Someone's husband acts strangely. Sometimes your wife leaves you. Sometimes your husband leaves you. Sometimes you face some unimaginable situation because of your children. Whatever negative happens in your life, don't try to immediately react. First, try to understand, see whether anything can be done. If there is no option, then just accept it, because acceptance is the key. If you accept, you will be able to move on. If you move on, you will be able to progress. So once you accept, you are able to let go. Once you are able to let go, you are able to move on. Once you are able to move on, you are able to progress. The reason you are stuck because you want things to happen as per your expectation. And many times when Rahu Mahadasha is running, Ketu Mahadasha is running, 100% things will never happen as per your wish. And if you are a very ignorant person, you will remain stuck. You will try hard to manipulate things. And if you do this, then you will become the most foolish person, because things will become more difficult. That is why, if you are a wise person, then you can sail smoothly through Rahu Mahadasha. But an utterly ignorant person will always find difficulties, great difficulties, while going through Rahu Mahadasha or Ketu Mahadasha. And so it is necessary that truth is given to only those who has a certain depth of understanding. Otherwise, out of 100%, 95% people come to me who are always crying. They don't understand the message. Then what is the point? And so it is necessary that you focus on following the voice of your heart. You try to understand that sometimes, or rather most of the times, acceptance is the key. If you are not able to accept, you will be always stuck, and then no progress is possible in your life. Enough for now. I will be coming back with this kind of uncut, unedited videos. Something that is very raw but very real. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru.
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः।